Being perceived as charismatic is really, really important in any kind of setting, because once you are perceived as charismatic, people like you and people buy from people that they like, right? But there's one thing that kills your charisma faster than anything else, and nobody that you know in your personal life that is charismatic actually does this, right? The main reason this kills your charisma is because it subconsciously signals to the person that what you're saying is not important. What I am saying is important. You fucking listen to me. That's what it signals, right? And if you haven't guessed it already, it's talking over the other person. When they're trying to express a point, right? And you just interrupt them in the middle, subconsciously you have just told them that what you're saying doesn't matter. What I'm saying matters. You fucking listen to me, bastard. That's what you're trying to say, right? Because if you truly valued what they have to say and the point was to make them feel like they matter and they're important, why would we cut them off? If our true perception of them was that these people mattered, what they're trying to express matters, why would I cut you off, right? Cutting someone off is really, really small, but really big at the same time. You might think that, oh, it's just a sentence he was saying that was probably unimportant, so I just cut him off and I just expressed my point. And that might be an ego brush for you. But what you're failing to realize is that this is shaping their perception of you. You are going to now be known as the guy that talks over people, that actually cuts people off, right? Even if they don't recognize this consciously, subconsciously they realize that, oh, this guy doesn't really value what I have to say. They don't enjoy the conversation. And if you truly want to influence someone, you want to be a leader, you gotta let them truly give out their points, right? I mean this in a non-judgmental way, because charisma is actually from the Greek word charisma, which means doing them a favor, essentially. In other words, this means that we are doing them a true favor by letting them lead the conversation and being truly interested in them, right? You cannot do this if you cut them off, right? One small sign that you are cutting them off actually changes their whole subconscious perception of you, because you are signaling to them that your content, what you are about to speak, is far more important than what they have to say, right? That is the big problem here. Honestly, you don't even know that you're cutting people off until you actually sit down to notice your behavioral patterns, right? If you have close friends around you, you can get them to remind you when you're cutting people off, because sometimes it just so happens when someone's speaking something and they're truly trying to express a point, as soon as you cut them off, right, your charisma drops by like 100 points right there, because the fundamental definition of charisma is doing them a favor, right? From the Greek word, you're no longer doing them a favor, you're doing yourself a favor. You're not listening to them, you're not hearing them out, you're not letting them express their points. You want to express your own points. So the number one thing to change today is to stop fucking cutting people off. Are you so fucking dumb that you can't wait until the person is gonna finish their point so that you can talk? Are you so fucking stupid? Do you think that by the time they're done you're gonna forget? Are you so stupid? Like, seriously, that is the big problem that people face. They're so brain rotten, they're so addicted to the dopamine of feeling good about themselves and speaking about themselves, they start cutting people over. And as soon as they cut someone over, instantly that person knows that, oh, what I'm about to say is not important to this person, let me just not speak, and they stop enjoying the conversation. How can you possibly lead the person? How can you possibly influence the person if they don't even fucking like talking to you? That is the number one thing to change. Stop fucking cutting people off, right? If you have to say something, note it down in your brain and let them speak, and then you say it. The worst thing to do. And believe me, when I'm saying all this, I am not some magician either. I also make these mistakes. In fact, there's a big mental note to myself. I'm actively trying to work on not cutting people off, truly letting them say it, right? The moment you feel like you need to speak, start focusing on your breath and actually try to listen, right? If you have that urge to speak and you can identify it, start breathing. That way, you will be calm. You will not jump around conversation. And believe me, you have more time with people than you think that you do. You truly need to calm down in a conversation, hold your frame, and let them finish. Because if they do not like having conversations with you, there's no fucking way that you're going to be charismatic, influential. Fuck my life, that was the hardest word to say. Or be a leader in their eyes, right? Catch. The reason why you want to cut people off and speak about yourself, simply because you want to be perceived as a specific thing. And if you have enough social proof backing you, like you're in shape and you don't need to speak about it, you have a big following, you don't need to speak about it, you're rich and you wear a good watch, you don't need to speak about it. If you have all those things in place and you've done your background work of having all these things in place so that you don't have to open your mouth to tell them that you're great. Find the need to prove them something. In fact, you will be so calm in a conversation that you will let them prove themselves to you. Frame I want you to take, and stop fucking cutting people over.